Hi there, and welcome to The Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today we're gonna make one of my favorite barbecue sauces. It's apple butter bourbon barbecue sauce. And if you haven't tried something like this, you are going to love it. It is fantastic, and in just a few minutes I'm gonna tell you what we serve it on. But first, let's get it started. So the first thing I have here is 8 ounces of apple butter. You can use the kind that, at the grocery store, or you can make your own. And I made this myself in the Ninja Foodie pressure cooker, and I will link to that recipe and video right up there for you guys. It's super easy to do. I mean, it's done in no time at all, and it's beautiful. So I usually store them in these jars, and look, I mean, it's thick, it's gorgeous, and it tastes delicious. And mine is not overly sweet. Sometimes I get them and they're a little bit too sweet, so mine is not overly sweet. All right, so let's add that to the blender first. Let's go ahead and add our 1/4 cup of water to the blender, so I can put that on the bottom there. And we're gonna add the other liquids too right now. So we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. That could be fresh squeezed or the kind that comes in the bottle, no problems. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of Crown Apple. Okay, I know that's not a bourbon. I know it isn't, but it really gives a nice flavor, and we do use some bourbon in here too. But I really recommend getting this, even if you skip the bourbon. This really adds a nice flavor to the barbecue sauce. 2 tablespoons of that. Then I have 1 tablespoon of bourbon, which you could substitute 3 tablespoons of this if you aren't a bourbon drinker and don't have any at home. The reason why I put this in is so that I can call it apple butter bourbon barbecue sauce, because otherwise it would be apple butter whiskey barbecue sauce, and that sounds a little bit odd. So we're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of bourbon, your favorite kind, any kind is fine, or 3 tablespoons of that. 2 garlic cloves go in. And now the apple butter. So that's 8 ounces by measure. So 1 cup. It's not weight. It's by measure. By a cup. Okay. I guess weight would be a measure too. So anyway, let me make sure that I'm clear on that. It is 8 ounces, 1 cup, not 8 ounces of weight. Okay? All right, and then we have our spice blend. Really simple and not even really barbecue-like, but trust me on this, it is a delicious barbecue sauce. We have 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle powder. Now, I really recommend the chipotle powder in this recipe because it gives that smokiness, and it really goes perfectly well with the bourbon and the Crown whiskey that we have in there. But if you don't like it or you don't have any, you could substitute cayenne pepper, and you can do that to taste. So if you don't want it as spicy, back it down some. You can always add more spice later, but you can't take it out. So start off with just a little bit, like 1/4 teaspoon or even 1/8 of a teaspoon if you're not a fan of spice. All right, let's get those in to the blender. And now we put the lid on. And the garlic cloves that I put in, the 2 garlic cloves that I put in, they're peeled, but that's it. I just took the paper off. I leave them in whole because the blender's gonna do all of the chopping for us. All right, so we're gonna turn the blender on and we're gonna go to the sauce dip. All right, so the sauce dip function is a combination of blending and heating, and I can already see it starting to boil because we have those thinner liquids down at the bottom, so it really starts to boil very, very quickly. The thicker your mixture is, the longer it will take to heat up, obviously, because it's sitting on the bottom. But this is starting to boil right away, and then we'll have some blending throughout the cycle. Now, if you wanted to know exactly how this cycle works, you can check out my complete guide for the Ninja Foodie Cold and Hot Blender on my website, and I will link to that right up there for you guys, okay? It's really handy to have, especially if your features look different. So not all models are the same. You might be missing some, or they might be called something else. And this is a way for you to tell what feature that you have would be comparable to the one that I'm using in a recipe. All right, so we just let that cook for a little bit. And then while that's cooking, I'm going to make a burger. So this is one of my favorite ways. And in fact, it's Jeff's invention. It's not mine because I don't even know if I would have put these combination of flavors together. So he loves burgers and he loves getting creative with the toppings that you put on burgers. So what we did was, or what he did, I should say, came up with an apple sauced burger, I think he calls it. An apple bourbon butter sauce burger. I don't know what he calls it. But anyway, it's absolutely delicious. We had one the other night without a bun. So we made, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to make up a little flat patty, and we're going to put all the toppings on it, and we're going to serve it with this barbecue sauce. There goes the blending. We're going to serve it with this barbecue sauce, and oh my gosh, it is so delicious. If you don't like burgers and you don't think that the one that I'm going to show you in a little bit looks appetizing, don't worry about it. You can use this on chicken breast. So you could bake chicken and put this on top. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. It would be great on pork. Let's see, what else would I put it on? I mean, it's so delicious. Let's see, what else would you put it on, Jeff? Let's get Jeff's opinion. Ribs. I bet that would be amazing. We've never tried that. We're going to have to try that. Yeah. All right. So Jeff says ribs. All right, cool. Ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. I have some too. Maybe I'll try that. Oh, yummy. All right, so we just have a few seconds left on the program. It has been boiling away. It smells amazing. And I was talking with Jeff, and I was like, well, I've got a pork chop. I've been testing recipes. So I was like, I've got a pork chop, and I've got some chicken already cooked. Why don't I just top it with some of the apple butter bourbon barbecue sauce that I've already made, and we'll make that little burger, and I can taste it all for you. And I just finished doing a video on vanilla ice cream, so I'm going to put some on there too. See how it is. So we can see, will all these work? I didn't have any ribs though, so we can't try that. All right, so make sure when you take this off, it's really steamy. So just do that away from you. Let the steam sort of, come out. And then I will pour it into this jar to cool. But in the meantime, let's get to tasting some of this, okay? I'm gonna pour the hot barbecue sauce over the burger. But let's go ahead and finish making the burger. So I've got a little slice of onion here. I don't have any buns, but that's okay. I know they're good on buns, but they're also good without it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just core my apple here. Now, I don't peel the skin off unless I'm making it for Jeff. He likes the skin peeled off. And then I just make a thin slice of the apple. Put that on the burger. Put the onion on the burger. We've got some cheddar cheese down there. And now let's go ahead and pour some of this on. It does thicken as it cools some, so it might look a little bit runny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my jar. Now it's not all gonna fit, but I'll get another jar in a minute. All right, good to go. All right, let's taste it. All right, I'm gonna do the chicken first. I've honestly never had this on chicken, so it's gonna be interesting. Now this was a lemon chicken that I made as a sheet pan meal, so it might be a little odd, but let's see. And it had rosemary too, so that's a little different, but let's see what it tastes like. Wow. That is delicious. The rosemary's a little bit too much, but the spice of the apple butter bourbon barbecue sauce is fantastic, and it's fine with the lemon. Just the rosemary's throwing it off a little bit, but oh wow. Delicious. All right, so let me get a piece of this pork here, which might be a little dry because it was cooked perfectly when I first made it. Let me cut that in half. And I also got some of that crispy skin. I cut my own pork chops. I don't buy them already cut, so I can control the thickness. I get a whole pork loin. I'm gonna have to do that for you guys on camera so you can see how I do it. And it's even cheaper than buying pre-cut pork chops. All right, let's try it. So good. That's really good. All right, star of the show. This is an applesauce burger without the bun. So let's go ahead and get a slice with everything on there. Make sure I get an onion, the apple, and I need a piece of an onion. All right, here we go. Amazing. Amazing. Oh my goodness. That's the best combination. I really hope you give that a try. All right, let's go for the ice cream. I'm really doing all of it here for you today. All right, so homemade vanilla ice cream. Just gonna put it in this little bowl. If you don't have a hot cold blender, this ice cream was made in the hot cold blender. It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's see. Do I want to put the hot on? Probably I'll put the cold on. That'll make a little more sense, wouldn't it? All right, I've never tried this before, so this is going to be something. Just a little bit. All right, here goes nothing, right? It's good, but you know what? I don't get any of the barbecue flavor, you know, like I do on the savory dishes. So the sweetness comes through. I mean, it's good, but it's not giving me that little punch of heat like I thought. Let's see if it's different if I put some hot on there. Obviously, it's gonna melt the ice cream though. All right, let's see. Okay, I got some heat there. I didn't get as much heat here. Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. What an interesting combination. Absolutely delicious. Super easy to make. It makes about probably 1.5 cups of the barbecue sauce. And try it on different things. Let me know what you think. And I just hope you enjoy this recipe.